dental hygiene, the practice of dentistry, the concept of cavities, how does that relate to what I do as a chiropractor? How it relates to the person watching this video who has a spine? How do those two concepts have so much in common, yet everybody knows a lot about one and next to nothing about the other? A cavity. What is a cavity? Where does it come from? How does it happen? How do you prevent it? What do you do if you have one? Let's just talk about that real quick and take that same understanding and wisdom and transfer from here to here. So a cavity is just an excessive accumulation of bacteria over time. Left untreated will continue to do increasing damage. Cavity will advance from a small to a large cavity. It will go to root canal or tooth removal status, etc. We all kind of know what that's like, whether we've had one or not. We've had friends and family. It's painful, it's expensive, it's ugly. That's why we have this practice of dental hygiene. So chiropractors call a cavity of the spine a subluxation. Subluxation is a weakness of the spine, if you will. We're just talking about biomechanics here, so let's keep it simple. But it's a biomechanical weakness of a joint, two joints, or several joints. Very much like a cavity, it's not bacteria that's eating away at the bone or causing the decay dysfunction over time. It's actually biomechanical stress. Think of it in simple terms as abnormal or excessive friction, wear, and tear on a moving part that has dysfunction. If left untreated, just like a cavity, this subluxation, this weakness of the spine, will continue to advance. Now, when people have a toothache, they typically kind of know what that is instantaneously. They've been taught this by society. Who do you go to when you have a toothache? You go straight to the dentist, figure out how bad the cavity is, because you pretty much can assume you already have one. The dentist does some sort of intervention measure, removes the bacteria, and then coaches you on how to prevent the stuff from keep happening. We don't apply that same wisdom when it comes to the back, the spine, etc., musculoskeletal complaints, even other joints, knee joints, shoulder joints. They operate by the same laws and principles. So when something happens, we have an old injury maybe as a child, and it starts to set the stage of that cavity forming. Usually in the middle years, adult years, we start to feel achy, old, stiff. That's the cavity that's been there for a long time. It's trying to send messages to your brain to tell you something's wrong. Take it to the dentist-like individual, figure out what's wrong, get it fixed, and then go into some sort of hygiene routine to prevent it. Why take a kid to a chiropractor? My very quick-witted answer back to that, without having to explain a lot of knowledge and jargon, is why do you take your child to the dentist? It's the same concept. You want to know what's going on at any given moment so you can catch something early and protect the health of that child. Sharing with you one simple concept of biology should solidify this concept for you and help you understand that the same wisdom we apply for dentistry, we have got to start applying to the human spine. So, Wolff's Law, bones will remodel or change in response to stress. So, bones will change in response to presence of bacteria over time. That's a cavity. Bones will change in response to biomechanical stress, old injuries, lack of stretching, lack of proper spinal hygiene maintenance. That stress over time will cause them to degenerate. Doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, what you believe in or don't believe in. It's just a fact of life. It's a biological law. You can Google it, look it up. So when we apply, again, the same wisdom as far as cavities, prevention, being proactive, as we do to the spine, subluxations, weakness of the spine, misalignments of the spine, abnormal movements of the spine, when we apply the same wisdom, we get the same outcome, which is increased health. These body parts last longer. They don't hurt as often. They don't cost as much to repair, etc. So the list goes on. Just imagine if we never learned about how to take care of our mouth, our teeth. Society just didn't do it. We didn't know anything about it. We were completely ignorant about how to take care of the bones of the mouth. What would society look like right now? You wouldn't want to get too close to people. Everybody would have horrible, horrible breath, rotting teeth, massive pain, bleeding. It's ugly, and it is what it is. But what are we seeing in society right now? We're seeing a lot of elderly people very hunched over, very stiff, very immobile, and they're giving up their hobbies and their life enjoyments left and right. They're going to the nursing homes, they're going to the wheelchairs, the canes, the walkers. So it's not necessarily, again, old age or bad luck or genetics. It's what happens to body parts when you don't apply proactive wisdom, when you don't have a hygiene plan, a strategy for taking care of it. Do I have to keep going to a chiropractor forever? Do you ever have a plan on when you're going to stop going to the dentist? No, you are always going to have to go to a dentist, and you automatically, inherently know why. So why haven't we been going to a chiropractor, and why don't people keep going to a chiropractor just like they keep going to a dentist? So let's say somebody's watching this and they're 30 or 40 years old, and they say, I've never been to a chiropractor. I don't believe in chiropractors. I'm not going to them. I heard a bad story once or something like this. That's just as silly and completely lacking logic and knowledge as somebody that says, dentistry, they're quacks. I'm not going to them. What do they know? How can they help me? Improve how you take care of your spine by going to a chiropractor periodically, by having some sort of spinal hygiene plan. If you can do this, like you have a schedule for going to the dentist, and you have a dental hygiene plan, if you can figure that out, you will probably be one of those people in the top 1% that lives a very long time, that stays active, keeps enjoying life, keeps moving, stays out of the wheelchairs, away from the walkers and the canes, stays out of the nursing homes. And I think that's what everybody wants. They just don't know how to get there, and they don't know how to do it. They don't know what they need to do. They don't know what they're doing wrong. So take this concept of dentistry and chiropractic, dental hygiene and spinal hygiene, and start applying the same wisdom to both. If you can do that, again, you'll probably find yourself in the top 1% of people living extremely well for a very long period of time. And the people that come after you, your kids, your grandkids, your nieces and your nephews, the people look up to you that watch how you live, will all of a sudden start to adopt that same wisdom. They'll start to follow your example. Take this concept, run with it, make it your own, and over the next several years or decades, just continue to grow this wisdom, this knowledge, and for goodness sake, share it with others.